Hi, welcome to Fat Joe. In this video, I'm going to show you how I used reference of my fat friend Joe in order to make this drawing. But before I even gathered reference though, I settled on this composition here because it's not a total headshot, but I still wanted to have enough of his face visible that you can get a good idea of who Joe is, because so much of who he is comes from his face. Okay. So Joe actually isn't fat. I told him I'd draw him fat a long time ago. It's been like 5 years now and I'm finally getting around to do it. So now, what a good guy. Anyway, let's look at a few more pictures of Joe, because some of these are the pictures that I gathered for reference. This one here I think is the one I used for his hair, and this is the one where I got the design for most of the shirt, and this is the one I used for most of his face. And this one, well, there you go. Artist selfie. It's a real thing, I swear. Anyway, let's get right into the face. The face is what most people are interested in. The other parts of the drawing are all important to support the face, but really we're looking at the face. So here's my reference. I had to flip it or flop the reference image to more match my sketch, and then I transformed the head on my sketch to more match my reference. Now that those two are in line, it just makes my job easier, and plus the little head tilt actually worked with my composition anyway, so I just kept it in. There's a few things to know about reference that you got to keep in mind. One is the light source. This photo I took of Joe looks like it had a flash light source. Somebody took a picture with a flash and that gives you a hit of light straight on, and usually that's quite boring and I try to avoid it. In this case I really liked his expression and his half lids and stuff. It screamed Joe to me, so I just chose to use it. Plus, actually, so many pictures nowadays are taken that way that I kind of got used to that lighting scheme. I gave Joe a fuller beard than he has in the reference, and he does typically wear a fuller beard like that, so I wanted to keep it. It's part of who makes Joe Joe, and considering this is a portrait, all of these decisions really help capture who he is, you know. I mean, even this choice of reference and stuff. Quick note about beards. I keep all of my painting on one layer. It's all one drawing. I like to keep all the colors together. The only exception is the beard, because I can draw a beard on top. I can hide it, like you saw he had the weird bald looking face, and then in that way I can keep the structure of the face underneath and the beard sort of blends into it, and I can erase out parts of it to blend it in. And I think that's one exception where I like to have more than one layer. Okay, I'm going to quickly speed through this shirt kind of stuff. I never liked it anyway. I had to paint it too many times. It just bugs me. But here you'll see I lift up his head, give him a bigger forehead. Then I resize and reposition his eyes ever so slightly. But both of those changes, if you look back at the reference, it really made a big difference. I think his semi-smirk and his nose and stuff I had from the beginning. His eyes were too big and his forehead was too small. Now, by increasing his forehead, I give his head a more triangular shape, which is a stronger shape. And you can see how there's sort of a more graphic quality. If you look at the top of his head, right down to his right shoulder is a straight line. And on the other side of the screen, right from the bottom of his stomach all the way up to the top of his head is a graphic line. So now I got this strong triangular composition. Also, by giving him a bigger forehead, he looks more human. Smaller foreheads look more cartoony. Smaller eyes made his cheeks and everything look bigger. I think that small edit was a huge, I think it was the turning point in this painting. You know, most paintings have a turning point when you step back and you look at it and you're like, okay, great. Now it's just finishing it off. And probably that's part of the reason why I hate the shirt so much, because the painting was done, the story was told, now I got to spend all this time trying to figure out how to paint this damn shirt, you know. I think there's one more thing to show you here, and that is sometimes it's kind of nice to flop your image. It's like a break, fresh eyes, you know, you've heard that expression before. So I think I just shrunk his eyes down a bit, and his face is looking a little long. I'll probably, there, yeah, so I dropped his eyes as well. I think somebody did say the eyes were too big, but I try not to just make changes for no reason. I like to understand what the notes are given to me, and I don't think I saw that. I was like, his eyes are too big, really, you know? And then once I flipped it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Anyways, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the Fat Joe.